I actually could almost not wait to share this thing with you. Why? Because I just heard yesterday or the day before a really good podcast, a podcast I really, really appreciate. I must admit that. Both the podcaster and the expert. But they actually spoke about intuition. And I mean, I felt it. They mean it the good way, right? They made this appel literally that people should listen to their own intuition instead of listen to all the other fake news out there, right? And that's good. But the big problem is most of the people don't know what intuition really is. Most of the people actually confuse intuition with something else. So, and they even sometimes they talked about not intuition but gut feeling, the gut feeling. And there is actually a difference. And today I want to tell you that. And the crazy thing is, when I think back into my very first mastermind I invested in, was an experience in, I think it's 2016, 2015, 2016. My first coach, actually at that days, desperately tried to help to positioning me. She told me intuition is not a thing. You cannot sell it. No one wants that. No one uses that. No one is interested in intuition. At that time, I actually had a freebie called something like The Misunderstanding with Intuition and why you as a spiritual entrepreneur should know about that or something like that. It's still a very valuable asset in my Transformation Mastery Hub where I carry my students from the coach program. But at that time, it was so hard for me to sell that, and it was even harder to hear from a coach where I actually trusted in that she could not understand the thing or not help me to literally peel out the benefit for my clients. So what is it really, right? What is intuition really? I am Chantal Perrin-Jacquet, down-to-earth medium with 5.5 years of education and a personal spiritual skill to perceive the soul calling of my clients. My clients are self-employed entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs, and I also help them to monetize it in the meantime. The first perception of a soul calling was actually, I think it was precisely 20 years ago with my first, first he came with his dog, and then for business coaching, and then I perceived the first soul calling, the first purpose of my client, and he's still self-employed with that. Very, very touching. So I believe everyone who actually train its own psychic skills and mediumistic skills, we talk about that later as well, also realizes their own magic blend of the skills. And that's very, very beautiful. And I actually already wrote a book about that in German area. You can get it in every bookstore, The Languages of Your Soul. I plan to translate that soon. If you want to have it in English, please give me a sign in the comments so that I hurry up with the translations. Sprachen deiner Seele, Languages of Your Soul. When did I write about that? I think it was in 2016, September. Very, very touching. So there I actually explained this thing, because even where I learned to be a down to earth medium, not this hoo hoo and dramatical things and all the stuff. I did actually not learn about the perception of our soul's energy or God's energy. At that time, it was not a concept in this education. That's totally okay. But I realized very fast that I perceived this thing as well, not only animals. This was also a topic, and very, very intensive, but especially soul's calling. The more I was in the depth of this education, the more I had experiences with perceiving the soul of the people talking with me, and I had really to learn to separate that. And thanks to this down to earth education, actually, I was able to learn the different sources of the invisible energies, right? So let us stick with that, because intuition is one language of our soul. And here in this book, I actually talked about three most common languages. In the meantime, when I would write it again, I would even talk about five. But at that time, these three were very intensive in my life, and the most intensive was actually intuition. So a language of our soul is actually always for us. Let's say when my soul is talking to me through a language, which can be intuition, can be a dream, can be also an angel, very, very beautiful. When a soul is talking to us, it's always about our unique soul path. It's never about others. It's always only about us. When our soul is able to reach out, it's meant to guide us so that we don't leave our soul path. I hope this makes sense. You know, I believe on this concept, and you don't have to believe it. Please, you must to feel it for your own. But I believe in this concept that we as an enlightened soul are here in this human experience having on this planet Earth. We play this 3D monopoly. I call it like that. And we want everything. We want to perceive literally everything. So we literally write our bestseller, and we are the protagonist in this bestseller. But when we perceive something from other people, it's not coming from our soul. We can perceive from other people directly. Let's say this is the psychic perception, and then our unique customized usage of clear senses is unfolding. You probably know about the clear senses. Every body sense, which we actually learn at school. Unfortunately, we don't learn the clear senses, but every body sense at least has a companion in the clear senses. Let's say the eyes, we see the body, right, physical, and we can literally clear see. It's the clear, how do you say it, voyance. We can hear, and there is the clear audience, and we can feel the energies, emotions, this clear sentience. And in German, we also have the hell spüren, feel something through the body, through our skin, through the organs. When it's through the body, hell. Also in German, it's better. English has the same word, like with the feeling of emotions and feelings, with the perception of emotions and feelings. I'm very excited at the moment, you see. So in English, we have the same word, clear sentience. But in German, we use a difference. Hell fühlen is always clear sentience over the body, over our skin, over an organ. an example is I have this skill actually, and I had really to train to switch it on and off. And with the time, I actually told to spiritual, please let it off, because I had the skill that I immediately perceived where my clients feels hurt. Let's say they had problems with the head, a migraine. I suddenly also had a migraine. Let's say they had problems with an organ. I suddenly also had the problems. I felt it. I felt the pain, and I really had to learn to deal with that. And I could beautifully learn that in my education. By the way, Sabine Wolters, if you are interested to really learn that in a grounded way, go to Sabine Wolters. She is in the meantime my client for her business. It's very, very touching. If you want to reach out to her, just write Sabine in the comments, and we will reach out to you. So she's actually the best down to earth medium, and crystal clear also with channeling spirit world. So I learned that with her, right? I learned the different clear sentence, clear, yes, and senses, clear senses, and also the difference of two main sources means the psychic and the mediumistic. The psychic is when you are connected and can perceive something which is actually alive, right? Something like a plant, like another human, like an animal, but also like the energy of something, like something material, like it's also alive. By the way, it's scientifically proven there is energy and protons and electrons, right? So that's the psychic perception, and the mediumistic perception is everything in the spirit world. It can be a dead person, dead loved ones. It can be a spirit leader, guidance. It can be an angel, an archangel, a protection angel, whatever it is. And there is also another source called soul's energy, your soul's energy. I had to learn to separate my soul's energy, and because I always also felt the soul's energies from my clients, but because I learned the difference between mine's and yours in this education, I had this crystal clear, like printed in my perception ability to perceive what is mine and what is not mine. I call it yours, right? Yours or yours or yours or yours. It's just not mine. And people had to learn that it's not a foreign energy is not bad. It's just not mine, right? And I learned that in this education was one of the best learnings actually. So I also very quickly learned what is my soul and another soul. Hope this makes sense. And then later on, then also learned the source of God's energy to channel. I always had a connection to God, but I was not aware about that. So we perceive with our clear senses. It's literally like a snail with antennas or sensors of a machine. These are the clear senses, right? So clear senses are not a source. Psychic perception is a source. When we perceive something from something which is alive, or from spirit world, it's mediumistically source, or from God is a source, or from our souls is a source. And tell you what, a source is also where our instincts are led from, right? It's a totally other source. And this is how our animal in our humans is actually working. From there are our instincts led, conducted. It's a totally other source. And there is an additional source, which is our conditioning. Whatever we learned, we got a conditioning with something, good or bad or worse or whatever, often with fear or bad experiences. And this is also a source. So when I heard, back to the podcast the day before yesterday, when I heard these beautiful experts talking about you should listen to your intuition, and I told, yes, this would be the solution. And then he told, just listen to your gut. Then I thought, no, please not, because the most of the people, you know, when you perceive your soul's energy, it's coming from above. It's coming right through your center. It's so divine. It's so bright. It's mostly silver or golden. It's just coming directly in in the middle from above through you, through the spine. This is your soul's connection, right? And the gut feeling is not here. The gut feeling is here, is below. Some people, there is an exception really. Some people, I learned in human design that the designs actually explains the difference. Some people, it depends on the blend of our character and our skills as a human. They can perceive soul voice in the end, not how it's coming through, but where it's landing. And then we think it's a gut feeling. Some of us feel that, perceive that. I'm right. And I agree. But the most of us not. And for those who actually perceive only the landing of their soul's energy, it's even harder to learn the difference. But from below, we perceive actually in this gut feeling, we perceive every conditioning, every instinct, and also pain. Actually, I had that once in a session many years ago, that someone came and talked to me, and she meant actually she had metaphysical experience within her body, and like literally someone else would be in her body. And I asked then some questions, and she told me it's from her inside in the end. And this was only possible because I had this strong education separating the sources. In the end, we realized she is actually talking about a physical pain. And I told her, go to the doctor. And she went to the doctor, and she called me after that, and was in tears, and told me, we found the thing, something with the stomach. Crazy, right? So it was physical. It was nothing energy thing, right? Not an energy and invisible source. So the shift is actually at that moment when we realize, okay, we have the ability to perceive energies. Everyone has that, actually. Everyone has the ability to be a medium. Everyone has a ability to perceive psychic or a mediumistic energy, God and our own soul. It's like that. It's just like that. And when you actually talk with the most famous entrepreneurs out there, and the most uh, the politicals and people with very big responsibilities, when you ask them how they do the decisioning in their life, it's always that they tell something like that. It's not about the facts. It's about something like a gut feeling, right? So would they know actually what it is in truth? Sometimes perhaps their fear. Sometimes it's literally their soul, really their soul talking to them. And here's the thing, as soon as you work energetically or with your clear senses for yourself, but also for your clients, in my opinion, you should actually know about these different sources, because energy is not energy. There are so many sources of invisible things, so many, many, many. And the more we, in my experience, the more we go deep with that, the more we train that, the more energies we get to know. Like perceiving water in the earth, right? Or perceiving the curry net, or whatever it is, electrical pipelines. These are all separate sources, but in this case, you can perceive it psychic, on a psychic way, but also through mediumistic blend when spirit world is helping you, right? So my students in the coach program train actually to recognize the difference between mine and yours, and also the different sources. And with this work, it's not a big deal actually. The sooner we go deep, the clearer it gets. With this work, they actually also perceive and realize their unique blend of clear senses, which is so touching. This is so amazing because they get with that another depth of a tool serving their own clients with their unique skill, psychic skill or mediumistic skill, right? And of course, they train to really clearly perceive with their intuition as well, because in the end, the goal is for me always that my clients perceive their own guidance, that they are not, they, sorry, they don't need me anymore. Then it's very important for me. I help them to realize and to get the awareness for their own skills and how to use them. And then this is big thing, right? It's amazing. They also train to really clearly perceive their intuition as their guidance and not their gut, not their conditioned fear, and not their instincts, which actually is driven to it's instincts are driver to survive, right? You can read that everywhere. I don't talk more about that now. So my suggestion is we should really learn to perceive and to separate the things, to perceive the difference and to really take over more responsibility, and not just to woo-woo and dramatize as soon as we feel more and then to tell it's my intuition. Or the worst thing, I actually told this story also in this freebie, the worst thing are we doing with our best friends. Imagine you sit with your best friend and let's say she's going through a hard time, and then you listen to her, you hug her, right? You are just here for her, holding the space, and suddenly you just tell her what you would actually do. And often in these weak moments, we as a best friend, when we are in these weak moments, we are open for ideas and the guidance from our best friend, right? But guess what? The best friend talking about what he would do is only what his intuition, aka souls, would tell. If you would be in this situation, we would do blah, 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 blah. So don't tell that to your best friend, because your soul is telling you for your bestseller what we would do, and not for the bestseller of your best friend. The only acceptance is when you, as well, like me, have the skill to perceive the soul's energy of your people, and you can clearly make the difference. Then actually you have another language. Then you tell, I perceive something from your soul. Do you want to hear it? And then you literally channel it. Of course, not only me I'm not the only one able to do that. But please separate the things. When you really want to help your friend, then do it like that. Help her to perceive her intuition, her soul's voice on her own. That's actually the best, not to channel. She still has to believe us, right? Just help her to perceive it on her own. By the way, that's also the reason why I started about 7 or 8 years ago. I stopped to channel the soul calling to my clients because I wanted that they perceive it on their own. It's so much more value when we can literally download it on our own and not just have to believe this other person. Everyone can literally come and tell you everything. We just have to believe it. And in my energy, this is over. You get here teaching how you perceive it on your own. So help your friend to perceive its own intuition, right? So why do you actually win energy and money with not confusing intuition and gut feeling? It's very short, very brief. Because you don't lose energy anymore. It's so much clearer. You really know it's from above. You really know it's not from above. Then you just ignore it. When it's not coming from your soul, you should not lead yourself from this area. Second, because you leave a lot of drama behind you. As long as we mix the things and there get create confusions, and also it's only drama. I once had a teacher, Robert Scheinfeld. He told us it's only lies, illusions, and stories. Crazy, right? Just leave it. You automatically leave it. As soon as you decide to go with the clear sources and to be in your full responsibility to perceive your own intuition, and which is actually your truth, and to go with that. And this is magical. And the third reason why you actually win energy and money when you stop the confusing, it's because you get so much clearer. And in the other story with your best friend, right? You realize your best friend gets also so much clearer. So it's not only for you, it's for everyone involved. It's just better for everyone involved. And then you actually, that's the best one actually, you follow your intuition truly. It's your truth. Then it's your truth. You don't follow the tips of your best friend, which is her truth. You don't follow the tips, my gosh, of your coach. That's why I don't tell my clients what to do. I also don't recommend something. There is a exception when they really want it, but then I'm very clear about that. In my coachings, I ask open questions and I train myself to get better and better with these open questions so that my clients get its own answer. And this is so magical. That's your truth, right? You get more and more clarity about your truth. And I tell you what, even if I'm on this soul path with soul calling and conscious with me since 20 years now, even then, for me, it's I go deep every day. I train myself. I educate myself. I read books. I pay for courses and retreats, and I already invested so much money in this topic of my expertise, but also in the topic of, and as an entrepreneur, of course, it's more than a seven-figure sum. And I don't regret it, because it's an investment in me and my skills. And the more I go with that, the more I know, the less I know. I think it was Einstein telling us that, right? Really, it's so true. But something is true as well. The more I know and realize I have to deal with, the less I know, then the more true I get, the more real me I get. And this is identity work. I have actually a playlist about identity work, and I talk about that every Monday, and I forgot it yesterday. I just realized it. So let's add this one to the identity playlist as well. Because if you ask for your true purpose, if you actually ask for your soul's voice, for your soul's mission in this human experience, you do identity work. Because you are really done with nurturing other bestsellers, nurturing other soul callings, goals, missions. You literally crave to go with your own truth, with your own voice. And that's so beautiful, because that's the only truth. Then you are so aligned. It's so meant for you, because it's you. It's the only place where you feel good. Wherever you are, whatever you do, it's what I call you are at home. So I just can tell you for the closing of this video, use your intuition, but use your intuition and stop using it also for others. By the way, that's often the reason why we perceive a solution for others. We perceive it psychically, right? With clear senses. Then we mean to know what is the best for others, and often it's true, right? But when we just tell it without get a question, we even don't get a thank you. Or often they are not able to listen. If they listen, it's just friendly. They cannot execute it. Why? Because it's not their energy. It's our energy. It's our solution. It's our truth and not theirs. Crazy, right? I love this topic. I really love it. So let me know if you want the English version of this book. It's 10 years old. Oh my God. I didn't realize it. It's 10 years, Languages of Your Soul. Oh my God. It's time for a translation, right? And probably for a third edition. I see this one is actually already the second edition. And if you want to train the things, let's say, if you are interested in my coach program and to use your blend of psychic skills with your clients as well, very clear, and also literally develop your own method, then please come in my Transformation Mastery Hub. The link is below. But if you realize you actually want to train your clear senses and to perceive psychic and spirit world, then you should go with Sabine. Just write Sabine in the comment and we will help you out. That's it for now. Bye. See you tomorrow.